Greetings, this is Ty Brown with Athletic Director U. I'm here at the Collegiate Sports Summit and I'm joined by Jeremy Foley. Jeremy is the former Athletics Director at the University of Florida. Greetings, Jeremy. Thanks for joining me.
Great to be here, Ty. Thank you for having me.
Now, Jeremy, I wanted to have a quick conversation with you. I heard you speak in the past. And one of the things you mentioned was that an inflection point in your leadership tenure is when you realized that you had to invest in people. And that helped you and actually broaden your horizon to understand that that was a vital part of leadership. Can you talk to us a little bit about that investing in people?
Yeah, Ty, early in my career, I just worried about getting the job done. Candidly, I was worried about my career, my promotions, worried about, my success. Along the way, we were getting some things done, so I thought things were tracking well. And then I was told by, several people that my management style certainly was not one that reflected an investment in people. And when you finally realize it, none of us in a chair, a leadership chair, is getting anywhere without people helping you get to wherever you want to go. Nobody is doing it by themselves. And so once you figure out that, you can't do it alone and you need to spend your time investing in people and their lives and, their dreams, their visions, and having everyone buying into what you're trying to accomplish, then something really special can be achieved. But if I'd continued to be a lone wolf, so to speak, it would have been a recipe for failure. I'm not sure I ever would have been the athletic director at Florida, and I know I never would have had any success as a leader if I hadn't changed my style.
Right. Was that the outgrowth of maybe a coaching influence, or the way you were before? I mean, how did you arrive at the point of realizing, hey, the way I was and the way I am probably needs to change?
Well, it was pointed out to me by a booster who invited me to have lunch and said, Jeremy, you've done a great job at Florida, but until you start learning how to treat people well, you'll go no further. And I had never received that feedback from anyone before, and it was incredibly powerful because, again, I'd had a lot of success at that point in time in my career, and but obviously I was headed down the wrong path. And that conversation could have gone one or two ways. I could have said, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I've been receiving all these promotions. Or I could have, looked in the mirror and said, he's right. And that's what I did, And I'd like to tell you my style changed overnight. It didn't, but because, I was kind of ingrained in doing it a certain way. Right. But I became committed to it. And certainly, I was not a perfect leader. There are none. But I do think that we evolved, and I evolved to a point where I realized, for us to be really good at Florida, we need to have some really good people around us. We need to take care of them. We need to pay attention to them. They need to feel part of what we're doing. And I think we had that. People will tell you that at Florida, one of the drivers of any success we had was our culture. And our culture was really derived from, as you said earlier, investing in people.
Do you think that the person who pointed out that to you, or the information that he pointed out to you, was the relevant thing that forced you to listen? Like, if somebody else would have said it, would it have hit you as hard? Or
I think anybody had said it to me, it would have hit me as hard because I was totally oblivious to it. I was young. I was fast trekking. I'd received a ton of promotions, so obviously somebody thought I was doing a good job, okay? But no one had ever had that conversation with me at all. So I don't think, I think anybody who had told me that, I would have listened, because basically I was not investing in people. In fact, candidly, I didn't really care about them. I just cared about the job, which is, you hate to admit that, but it's the truth, I just cared about getting the job done. I mean, my motives were good. I was still trying to take care of Florida, but I was trying to do it in a style that was eventually would have failed. And at the same time, it produced a toxic culture. It wasn't a good place to work, candidly, because of the way I treated people, the way I acted around people, the way I did things. So, people always ask me, Jeremy, in your career, what do you regret? Could you change this coaching hire or change that decision? And, you don't have that luxury. So, I mean, I've never looked back and said, I wish I could have changed any decision I made. except I would have changed this period of time because I created a bad environment at the University of Florida because of the way I treated people.
Were you, so you reflect on it now, right? As you changed that habit, did a light go off? Like, man, I've been treating these people horribly over this. Like,
Absolutely. When I was driving back from the luncheon with a booster, it was in Tampa, and I can remember driving home to Gainesville. And the closer I got to Gainesville, I thought about it all the way home, the worse I felt because I knew he was right. I knew he was right, and it's just it was an unfortunate self-realization, but it allowed me to grow, and I think it allowed me at some point in time, obviously, to become a better leader. And I think you'd have to ask others, but I think it had a positive effect at the University of Florida. I really do.
Was this while you were in the chair or prior to?
Prior to me being in the chair.
Okay.
I think I said earlier, I don't think if I had not changed my style, I don't think I ever would have been hired as athletic director, because at some point in time, that word would have gotten back to the decision makers, and they would have said, this is not a leader. This is the recipe for failure. And so, again, I've always felt that conversation that day was a turning point in my life and my career.
What did you, for those who are watching, who may find themselves in this situation or do some introspection and realize, maybe I haven't been treating people right. What were some of the steps you took after that realization? And you said it took a little time.
Yeah, it took time because I had zero trust in the organization, because of my lack of investment in people and candidly the way I treated people. No one trusted me. So when I tried to change, I had no trust. So people didn't quite, what's going on here? They didn't believe it. Okay. So, the old saying, you earn trust in drops and you lose trust in buckets. Well, I was trying to earn trust back drop by drop by drop. So it took a long time, and so, but at the end of the day, it's not about, I'm not the first guy to ever deal with this or invent this. If you're going to be in a chair, whether it's an athletic director's chair or run an organization, at the end, you have got to invest in the people who work for you. What does that mean? As I said earlier, you got to care about them. You got to pay attention to them. You got to help them achieve whatever their dreams are. You have to listen to them. You have to value their ideas. There used to be a time when the only ideas that I thought had any value were mine. Well, how is that a recipe for, I have all the answers? No, I made more wrong decisions than I did good ones. All right. Once we started getting a lot of information from a lot of different people and a lot of collective ideas, we started making some really good decisions and having a lot of success.
Yeah. And you were probably walked away happy. It seemed like that probably made everything. I don't know, but it seemed like that would make everything in life probably a sunnier thing.
Absolutely, because now it's a team effort trying to achieve certain goals, and you won together, you lost together, you celebrated together, you laughed together, you cried together. But absolutely, it makes it that much more fun. It made the journey for me that much more fun because I ended up in an incredible career surrounded by incredible staff who helped the University of Florida do some really good things.
All right. I'll ask this last question here. In the 25 years as athletics director there at Florida, was that one of the first steps? Did you lead with that? People are our most important thing.
Absolutely. And since then, I've paid attention to leadership, and obviously at this event this week, you hear a lot of people talking about leadership, and about everybody says the same thing: invest in people. Part of your culture is made up of people. It's not like I come in and say, this is our culture. I may set up what I want us to be or what we all thought we wanted to be. But at the end of the day, it's your culture is going to be determined by the people you have working for you and how they buy into your goals and to your visions, whatever have you. But, absolutely, it was a key part of anything I was able to accomplish at the University of Florida.
Well, Jeremy, this has been an excellent conversation. I really appreciate you joining us here on Athletic Director U.
Ty, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. That was Jeremy Foley. He's the former athletics director at University of Florida. And of course, this is Ty Brown with Athletic Director U. And keep in mind, the role of a leader is to create and maintain an environment that people want to be a part of. And as always, be better tomorrow than you are today.